Hello guys and welcome back to Zolas Lab Free. It is Sunday, February 25th of 2024, and as you can see, the Festival of Snow of 2024 has arrived in Zolas Lab Free. Mainly the Zolas Lab Free version. The Zolas Lab 2 one will occur on February 29th. Now originally there was supposed to be construction prior to this party, but the day it was meant to go live was the day I got locked out of Minecraft. And as you can probably see by the way this video is, we still aren't in. It is currently, as you can see all the way down there, it is 11 p.m. Mainly 11:27. Now this party, there are like over half the rooms aren't even updated for this party. Okay, there are certain rooms that are not updated. And you'll know which ones they are as we go through the video. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Because as you can see, we have a lot to go through today. So, first things first, jumping automatically right in, as we can clearly see, the lab is decorated for the Festival of Snow. Fun fact about the Festival of Snow, this is actually the first ever one in Zolas Lab 3, because all the other ones have been either held in Zolas Lab 2, mainly Zolas Lab 2 to be specific, or Legos Island that one time in 2022. Outside of that, it has never been held anywhere else. Ever. So that's why this one's very special. With all that being said, this looks very cool. And I'll tell you what all these mean in a minute. But before we can officially jump into that, we need to get the book that we can see right up here as well. Hold on, I gotta get a bit closer to that. Sorry about that. It is called Festival of Snow. It was meant to be named Festival of Snow, but we couldn't fit in that last word for W in the word snow. So unfortunately, I had to improvise. Regardless. Hey everyone, the Festival of Snow 2024 has arrived in Zolas Lab 3, featuring snow sculptures all around the lab to see and appreciate. From our sheep here at Zolas Lab 3, and apparently it looks like I forgot to remove the free. Dang it! Speaking of which, this is the first Zolas Lab 3 Festival of Snow. That's still actually serious, because there has never been one held here prior to this one. Upcoming events. March 3rd, this party will conclude, and the March 2024 catalog will release. March 10th, the St. Patrick's construction will begin. March 14th, the Pi Day event for 2024 will begin. March 17th, that party will end, and the St. Patrick's Day event will begin. And then on the 24th, that party will conclude and have some Easter construction. But this is actually the first one to actually have 5 upcoming events rather than just the usual 3 or 4. This is probably going to be the only one though. Enjoy the Festival of Snow 2024, and all this ice will melt the same day this goes away, so enjoy it while you can, by Mr. Sheep. As usual, that book is already in the library, but I'll keep it in my inventory for the sake of the video, because why the frick not? Even though that technically does break tradition. Now, you may notice that sign has nothing on it, and that's because I forgot to put something on there. That is my fault. I kind of put that up there last minute, so that's probably why. Let's automatically jump into the snow sculptures, as there's a lot of them to go through. And we don't have that much time till midnight, so I better hurry up. Even though I have a good feeling this is not going out before midnight, regardless. As you may notice, this is a snow sculpture based off of a planet. Obviously, that references all the planets in the sky, mainly space. So that's exactly what this is meant to represent right here. And it honestly looks so freaking cool. I mean, what do you guys think? See? Look at this. Look how cool that is. And see? Even from the other side as well. We can even see from the other side as well. Which is honestly so cool. Yep, even from the other side, it also looks amazing. Now, this one over here is honestly the most important one out of them all that is located out here. As you may notice, we have one that says the following message. Zolas Lab 3, 7 years. Now, as you are probably all aware, that event never ended up actually happening because we completely forgot about it. So, as an apology, this is here to Basically, the sheep saying that they are very sorry for no anniversary party for Zolza 3 earlier in the month, aka February 4th through the 11th, as there was supposed to be an anniversary party at that time, with the actual anniversary being on February 6th. As you're all aware, that did not happen. So this is mainly put here as an apology. And just to say sorry for not holding that event. So that's exactly what this is. And honestly, it looks so freaking cool. Now, you'll notice that we also have a sign up here, FOS for Festival of Snow. That's exactly what this is meant to represent. By the way, the little plaque here, as you may notice, also is very well updated for this party as well. The beacons are also updated for this party. With all that said, now let's move on to the actual lab itself inside. As the lab office, as you may notice, as we go inside, is actually updated for this party. While there is no snow sculptures in here, the room is very heavily well decorated, which honestly is so freaking cool. So as you may notice, the lab office is updated for this party. And honestly, it looks so cool. Honestly, this actually looks a lot cooler than I intentionally thought it was going to be. The whole lab transformed into an ice castle, which is freaking amazing. And not gonna lie, that's also probably gonna happen for the Zolza 2 one as well, so don't be surprised, because I may or may not take some slight inspiration from this. I said maybe, because you don't want to be, like, totally saying that and then it just doesn't randomly happen. There is more in the flower shop. Specifically this, which, as we can see, there are more decorations. Now, I apparently forgot to put some sea lanterns up here for the flower shop. That is my fault. I just noticed that. Because you may notice they were in the lab office. This is meant to obviously be a flower, as obviously a reference to the flower shop. Now, you may notice that Flower Sheep or Mr. Sheep is not up here. Or just in here in general. Now, that's mainly because we forgot to respawn them in here. But don't worry, the rest of the sheep should be respawned down in the actual lab. But you may notice how the entire room has also been completely transformed into an ice castle, which is very cool. Next up is the roof, which this next one is actually going to be quite interesting, because ironically, it actually means something. Like, this actually means something, as you may notice. First things first, let's give the opportunity to obviously showcase this. The number one thing that is meant to be up here, and that is this heart ice sculpture. And the following says, over here, you may notice that there's a sign that says, message from the sheep to Lego. This sign specifically says, we miss you, Lego, hope you're back in soon, by everyone, aka literally everyone that is here, all the sheep, including Roscoe. Actually, wait a second. She actually has no idea, actually, about that. That's not a joke. She actually has no idea about that, actually. Yeah, I never told her about that. That's actually serious. I never actually told Rose Crystal about that, actually. So she actually has no idea that that's actually serious. But I really do hope I'm back in soon so I don't have to keep filming it in this quality. But as for the rest of the roof, though, it does actually look really cool. And, yeah, that's how it looks. It honestly looks so freaking pretty. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I did not expect it to be this good. For just such a roof design of all. I know. Crazy. Like, holy frick. I was not expecting it to be this crazy. In decoration. Which can probably explain why it looks like this, because that's exactly what I was going for here. Let's move on to the actual backyard, which that's exactly where we're heading next. It's funny we fall down here, because that's exactly what we were going to next. Fun fact, this was one of the last snow sculptures I made right before recording this video. Currently, right now, it is 11:36. I'm literally checking my phone just to make sure. We haven't crossed midnight yet. But regardless, though, this says Leap Day 2024. Because, as you can see, Thursday, February 29th, 2024 is Leap Day for 2024. The next leap day will be in 2028, 4 years from now. So do look out for that. When we eventually get there, that is. Regardless though, this is such a cool ice sculpture. And that's literally the only decoration here. So now we are going to move on to the actual lab downstairs. Now, I do want to make something very clear. Classic ZL3 is not updated, but we should update it again soon though. I kind of miss it actually. It was meant to be updated during the anniversary party, but then that, never happened. We have a snow fountain, which was also another one of the last minute ones. Some of the downstairs ones were actually done last minute. So I do apologize if some of them don't look great. But I tried as hard as possible to make new ones. I'm legitimately serious. I tried as hard as possible to make every single snow sculpture entirely new. And judging by what we've seen so far, every single one has been new up to this point, including the snow fountain. The last time we saw this concept was actually an ice fountain in the Festival of Snow 2020 in Zola's Lab 2. But it was actually an actual ice fountain rather than an actual snow fountain. That's why it's a little different here, which honestly makes it look so much cooler. And if I'm being honest, that actually does look really cool. With all that being said, the library, Rose Crystal's room, and sheep rooms are all not updated in this party. So we can automatically move on to the underground party room. Yeah, remember how I said there were certain rooms that were not updated? Well, those were the 3 that are not updated. Actually, the same goes with the second hallway, the meeting room, and TV and game room, as all of those rooms are not updated either, alongside the HQ. So we will be skipping all of those rooms. This is where the beacons are located, which as you may notice, do actually look like this. The dance floor also looks really cool as well. And honestly, I don't think it could have came out any better than it already has. Which honestly, that looks amazing. It's kind of funny because literally, if you don't recall, the relaunch colors for Zola's Lab 2 are literally these colors. The Festival of Snow colors, which you may have found kind of odd 7 years ago. When Zola's Lab 2 was corrupted and then it got relaunched. And I don't mean the one where it legitimately disappeared. I mean the original 2017 corruption, where the relaunch colors, after rebuilding the whole lab, ended up actually just being these colors for the Festival of Snow. It's actually kind of funny that I do mention that actually, because we actually have a ton of logos here. We have LEGO Master 627's Creations, which for short is LC. For LEGO's Island is LI. Going over to the other side of the room, we have Zola's Lab 2, right here, as you can see. And lastly but not least, we have the backyard. I know, I need to be more active with that series now that I think about it. Outside of that, that is literally the only decorations in this room. There is nothing else beyond that, as there is literally no other decorations that are in this room. Like I said, we can bypass the entirety of these 3 rooms and move straight to the balcony, which is also ironically the last room in this party. With all that being said, this is the last one. And the most important one at that. That was not supposed to happen. That was by complete accident. I'm serious, that was literally by accident. I did not think that that was going to happen. But this is probably the most important one, and may or may not foreshadow something. So as you may notice, this says BB Season 8. Now that is obviously a reference to our Minecraft Big Brother series by me and Rose Crystal. However, looking down at the sign, it says we haven't forgotten about finishing this by Rose and Lego. And that's actually true. We have still not forgotten about that, and will be finished sometime in the future. Maybe a little sooner than you may think. I'll tell you when eventually. But do know it will be soon. I just gotta wait for Rose Crystal to come back during spring break, so I think it'll be around then. I just gotta wait for her to come back for spring break, and we should hopefully get the rest of this done. Because we don't want it unfinished on like Season 6. We do not want to make that same mistake again. But yeah, it is proven though we have not forgotten about finishing this. I actually have a lot planned that I want to do in the future. So yeah, just gotta wait for Rose Crystal to come back for spring break. when she does come back for that, we should hopefully finish this, because I did previously announce in the Zola 2 Small Editions episode that I only just have to wait for Roscoe to come back for spring break in order to finish it, which is actually true, because she's not around right now and probably won't be for like another week or so, or till like the middle of March, so I gotta wait till that happens. But that's proof that we did not forget about it. I promise. We will finish this. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon, guys. And that wraps up the entirety of the Festival of Snow. You may notice that there's no items, and that's mainly because there were supposed to be, but I didn't have enough time to make them. You're probably wondering when I started this. Well, it actually was started quite late. Around 9 p.m. EST. Now, why this late? It's because I kind of almost forgot to come back on here and do this. Yeah, that Club Penguin Journey video took a little longer to make than I thought, so that also can explain why. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. There's no way I'm getting this up before midnight.